Okay, so let me tell you about two of my three dreams, and that's really odd to me. I've never had three dreams in one night that I believe meant something. So one of them, it was about two snakes, but that one's, I think that's more just for me, just to make sure I'm praying for just spiritual protection and everything, because we know we fight spiritual battles. Well, and I don't remember what order these came in, but that was one of them. The other one, or the next one, was apparently we hired some like gardener landscaper person to come to our yard and do some work for us. Now, I know it was our own backyard, although it appeared to be like we were at a different house. Like I couldn't see the house, but I just know it was our backyard. Okay, we owned that place and that was our backyard. So the first thing that this landscaper gardener does is he takes a big riding lawnmower and he's trimming all the grass. Okay, all the green grass. There was this nice, lush, thick, tall grass, but like he's trimming it all down. The next thing that happens is there's a big tree over in the back right corner, and it kind of reminded me of my yard the house I grew up in, but because we had a big ficus tree in the backyard. But there's this one big tree in the backyard, and all around it is a bunch of mulch. Well, in the mulch, there were tons of weeds. And so he knew that the best method, the only way to get rid of those weeds, was to set fire to it. So I'm like, what? So he lights it, and I see the flame start spreading, and it's growing, and it's slowly just like burning everything. And of course, in my mind, I'm thinking, like in the dream, I'm thinking, how on earth is this not going to like catch everything else on fire? Like, how is it only going to burn these weeds and everything, is going to be okay? But whatever. So I see this flame start spreading, and then it kind of like flashed forward in the scene, and all of the fire was done. So I didn't see the whole process finish out. But the next thing that happens is all that mulch is gone, all those weeds are gone, and there's fresh grass underneath, as if like it was perfect. So I'm like, okay, I definitely see spiritual significance there. We know the tares will be gathered and burned, but even like the mowing of the grass. So we know like the grass is compared to people, and just grass being cut. It's like people are going to be trimmed down. People are a couple of things, right? Like people could be in the process of being refined, right? As we know we are, but also like being cut down. And then just the fact that all the weeds were burned and everything. And it's like I saw it starting to happen, so I knew it was happening, but I didn't see the rest of the process. So it's like he shielded my eyes from the rest of it. I don't know. Okay, so let me send this part. So then the third dream, and again, I don't remember which order this happened in, but I was standing on the back deck stairs of my house, and it appeared to be this house. And I'm looking out into the backyard area. And back behind our garden where we have like all those trees, and of course now it's fall and like all the leaves have fallen and like everything is just like a bunch of leaves and stuff on there. Well, I look, and apparently we had some sort of like playground equipment there. I don't know, swings, slides, whatever, things that children play on. And I look and I see a bunch of people down there. Now this is my own backyard. And I'm like, what are all these people doing here on this playground? And it was like kids and adults, which I thought was a little strange. And I know that it was like nighttime. It was like there was enough light that I could see the people. I could see what was going on, but I knew it was nighttime. It wasn't, bright daylight. Well, so they're down there and they're playing. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. Why are they there? Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it seemed at first, this huge wave of water comes. Okay. It just gushes down, and this wave just comes and like dumps over these people. Then there's another wave that comes, and then another wave. I think there were at least three waves of water that come. It's just like crashing down over these people. And they're like, you know, sloshing around in the water, like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And I look and I realize that, so how there's homes behind me now that they've been building? There was a home, and literally, like in real life, there's a home behind us, and to the left, it's a white house, which I find interesting. And in real life, they don't have this, but in the dream, they have this. There was one of those big above ground pools, and the pool had busted, like exploded or busted or something, and all the water was pouring out of this pool. But what's a little weird is that if that were to happen in real life, it would come down in like just kind of one gush of water. But in the dream, it was like multiple waves of this flood of, water coming and just crashing down over these people. Now, I will say, after that happened, the water like kind of just soaked down into the ground and dissipated. And I couldn't tell in the dream that anyone was actually injured or lost their life from it, but I do know that they were like struggling and they were panicking, and it all happened very suddenly. So as I woke up and I'm thinking about that, I was like, oh, that, I can see the significance of the water perhaps. I'm like, but what's the playground equipment about? And then I realized, oh, that's like the world. It's like all the distractions of the world, the things that people entertain themselves with. I mean, obviously in real life, a literal playground for children, that's not a bad thing, but it's representing all of all the frivolous things, the things that, I'm preaching to the choir here. But for example, like New Year's Day today, right? The false one. So all these things that people are just occupying themselves with, and they're going to be just cut off suddenly. Like this flood of destruction is just going to happen out of nowhere. So, and I thought it was interesting that it was coming from a house behind me that is white. Yeah, so those are basically two of my three dreams.